buttons to make some sound. Just check the volumes. Okay, can you guys hear that? Yep, great. Alrighty, so let's do little shoulder rolls to loosen off the shoulders. So if you alternate from one side to the other. And then allow your head just to drop over to one side. Notice what's going on around your neck. Mine's a bit clicky this morning. I'm going to roll around from one side to the other, leaning to the side, and then drop the head around. And do it again. And then bringing your shoulders up to your ears. If you can squeeze your blood down and do that rolling action, which is sort of round your upper back and then open through your chest, around and then open. And dropping your body down to touch your toes now. And then uncurling, up, tip toes, breathing in. And breathing out as you come down to touch your toes. Uncurling. Inhaling as you come up. Exhaling as you come down. Imagine that you're kind of scooping energy up and bringing it back to you. So you slide your hands up your body. Gathering energy from the universe, if you like, bringing it into your body. Taking the feet a little bit wider, softening the knees. I'd like you to rotate, so you twist and look behind you. Noticing what you can see each side. And going a little bit further, bring your hands up to chest line. And then scooping down and up. Opening the feet, down and up. One more on each side. Okay, and then from here, if you can stand on the one leg, bringing the knee up at the side, bringing the knee across, up at the side, and then across. Sweeping out, sweeping in. And can you get your knee about hip height as you do it? Being optional. And let's give that a go on the other side. So knee out to the side, and turning in. Last one. Going a bit wider with the feet, softening the knees, drawing the pelvic floor muscles up, taking a breath in. And then as we exhale, just sinking down. Breathe in. And breathe in. And breathe out. Are you looking for online classes that support you with getting more me time. You want to get supple, strong, feel less stressed, get in the driving seat. But actually, perhaps you've noticed that following videos on YouTube isn't actually helping you commit. It's not like the teacher reaches out and says, correct your hips, bring your knee back, move your posture back. And this is the problem. So, of course, you can hit subscribe to get more from the Zigs YouTube channel. But let's face it, we're not going to send our children to a school without a teacher or a tutor. I mean, what's their life going to be like if they're going to learn in that way? So my name's Claire Louise Freeman. I'm the business owner of Zigs Exercise, and I like to encourage you to join me and my community online, where we get together via Zoom and we practice Pilates conditioning, yoga stretches, mobility. And the thing is, we get to actually talk through this stuff. We get to do it together. And to me, consistently doing it together is the thing that gives us much, much better results than if we're left flailing around in front of a video trying to do it all by ourselves. So if you'd like more information about joining me and others, please reach out, get in touch. You can work with us morning, evening, from the comfort of your own home. It's great because you get all the kit together at home, and it does help you to practice in between as well. So I'm offering a complimentary kickstart call. We can talk through what's getting in the way, you know, why it's not worked so far. And sometimes the hardest bit is actually just picking up the phone and talking it through. So brave pants on. I work with all sorts of people from various walks of life, different shapes and sizes. And often people who do work with me do it because they say that I do it in a very non-judgmental way. Of course, it's free to talk, so you can click the link in the description box below and we can get to know each other and see if we're a good fit. There's no pressure here. On the call, I'll listen in to, you know, what you need support with, what your personal needs are, and I can answer any of your questions about our online Pilates and yoga, where we do it together in community. Why wait? This stuff doesn't get any easier as we get older. We work with lots of busy parents, grandparents, business owners, NHS professionals, private school teachers, regular school teachers. So if that feels like you and you need that support and accountability on getting it done, that's the thing. If we've got the sessions booked in regularly, that means we're much more likely to show up. And it's that regularity that people are often missing. You know, they take time off during holidays. It's the commitment that gets the motivation. So why wait? Book in, give me a call, and I'll see you on the other side. Let's focus on some Pilates mat work now. Just going to adjust the angle. Camera down here. So if you come down onto your back. So sliding the fingertips here into the curve of the lower back. We can pull the belly button muscle in. Extend, tap down and back in. Try and keep some pressure on your hands. Level 1, level 2, we'll do it here. Knees at 90 degrees. And we're going to flex the feet when we come in, point the toes as we go out. So flexing and then pointing. And as you flex your feet, try and spread your toes out. You're moving all the little joints of your toes. Third level. Straight leg up. We do 4 more. The last couple. And final one. And then from there, if you can bend your knees. And we're going to circle our knees like this around together, sort of massaging the small of the back into the ground. And then reversing, so we go back in the opposite direction, just feeling, noticing what the back's saying to you today. Placing our feet flat on the ground, we're going to place the palms upwards and curl the tailbone under as we move into a shoulder bridge raise. So if you can hold your Pilates bridge at the top and then imprint through your middle back into your lower back. Relaxing the pelvic floor at the bottom. Can you then squeeze your pelvic floor muscles as you come up? Inhaling and holding at the top with the pelvic floor, rolling the body down, and then allowing the pelvic floor muscles to soften and let go. And consciously re-squeezing them on the lift. And as we hold at the top, try to push your feet downwards into the ground quite firmly now. So you really feel the muscles in the legs contracting and then softening as we lower. Let's do that again. So squeezing as we push up, pushing downwards with the feet. Now we're going to keep one foot pushing down as the other leg hovers like this, bent knee coming up. And as we switch the legs, can we keep our hips level? So that's our next level up. You can stick with level 1 and move it up to that bent leg raise. Or for third level, we're going to keep our hips level and extend the leg. So the knees are level as we reach the leg out. Let's do that again. Pushing the foot down into the ground as we extend the leg. Being quite firm about pushing down through that foot that stays on the floor. Good lift through the buttocks at the top of the move. I'm going to do that through just a couple more times. Pushed up through the hips. Good for our stamina and strength in our legs. Final one. And then from here, we're going to use one leg to rock ourselves up, straightening our legs out and pointing our toes quite firmly. Can you bring your arms here, up by your ears, and then flex and bring your head down so your nose is towards your knees. Pointing your toes, breathing in as you lift, and breathing out as you lower. So let's do that again. Point the toes, reach, and then rounding. And you go a little bit further now. So as you come down, pull where it feels a little bit uncomfortable, just for a few seconds, and then coming back up. Just exploring your comfort zone on that as you drop, 2, 3, and then lift. Breathing in on the lift, breathing out on the lower. We're going to do that twice more. The final one. And then if you can separate your feet so they're hip width, let's do some curls. A bit tricky to get up and down from the floor. Hook a band under your feet, or we're going to do it hands free. Tapping the back of the head down and then curling back up. Breathing in as we lower. Breathing out as we lift. We can add in some arms over the top for more advanced version. Or if you like, you can bring in a weight. we do 4 more of those? I think we can. So last couple. Alrighty, so from there, we can bring the soles of our feet together and take hold of the ankle. The gentle press down on the inner thigh with the elbows, just exploring the stretch, and then releasing so that you close your knees more in. So then we push out, 2, 3, and let the knees come up. And then again, just a gentle push down, 2, 3. So opening around the hips, leaning forwards as you do it, and then sitting back. And do it again. And 2 more. So final one. Alrighty, so from here we're going to move into a side lying position with the elbow down on the floor. We're going to make a fist on this bottom hand. And you lock your shoulder blades down. You're sort of pushing the elbow into the floor, and the knees are sat in front of the body with the feet forward for level 1. We're going to come up with the hip, 2, 3, and then lower. Level 2 will bring the feet further back, so the knee, hip, and chest are flush in line. Adding in an arm, so we're going to stay up there for longer. You sweep like this over the top, bringing your arm by your ear, and then coming back down. And then for more advanced level, we're going to straighten our legs out. And we do that 4 more times. Lifting from the waistline. Can you get your head back? Your body was against the wall. Would your head also be against the wall? Last couple, pressing down with that bottom shoulder. And final one. Breathe. And then when we're done, if we come up to seated and just give that shoulder a bit of a roll out on that side where we've just been putting all the body weight. Okay, so let's give that a go over here. So level 1, we want the knees in front, getting that elbow directly under the shoulder line and pressing that shoulder down to help stabilize the joint. Level 2, we move the feet and the knees further back, so we've got that flush line here. Adding in with our top arm by our ear. Bring the head back. Breathing in as we sweep over. Breathing out as we lower. Option 3. And we'll do that 4 more times. And the last couple. Final one. And giving that bottom shoulder a little roll off and coming down onto our backs. We bring our knees up into the air, feet in. And we're going to simultaneously tap one knee down, one toe down, big toe down, and your thumb and then back to this position. So the other side, big toe and the thumb tapping down and coming back in. Now you can either do it with your knees sort of in and your feet close to your bottom, or we start to move the leg here, or more for the start position. So the knee is now just a bit further away from the hip. You can see your reflection. You've got stripes on the side of your trouser that can be quite useful to align with. A more advanced option, we're going to go even further away like this with the leg tap down from here. Keep drawing the belly button muscle in, tucking the tailbone under slightly. Can we do 2 more? Come on, Jean, you can do it. And last one. And then from there, if you can bend one knee in, extend the other leg long. Making back arm out as we bring the knee towards the floor. Press your knee down. Trail that back arm, press your shoulder down. Breathe deeply. Alrighty then, from here if we rotate and switch to the other side. So knee coming across, foot towards the floor, trailing the back arm, breathing deeply. Let's rotate to the middle, bringing the hands again underneath the back of the leg. If you can come up, now's a good time to get some water. I'm going to use a stick next. If you can find a stick, if you can have a little bit of a gap between your hands. As we move into some shoulder mobilization. Breathing in on the way back. Breathing out as we come forwards. You can either keep your hands wide or you could try narrowing a little bit if you want to try and stretch a bit further. Notice as you go into the back position, do your fingers do this and sort of peel off as you go back? Or can you try and keep your fingers on there? Notice the difference between the fingers being on and the fingers peeling off. And you do one more, and then if you park your stick just above your head, bring your hands in a little bit so your hands are about elbow width. Grip the stick. Pull like you're trying to pull the stick apart as you soften your knees and hang your tailbone. We're going to lean to the side. Then move to the middle. Now try and get your waistline active. Let your bottom sort of tuck slightly as you lean and go to the point where you can feel the waistline and move to the middle. Pull your belly button muscle in to activate your core and then let it relax. Squeeze your pelvic floor and your belly button as you lean, 2, 3, and then let those muscles relax as you centralize. You can either keep going with that version or toes turned out. We're going to lean, come down into a plie, and place the elbow against the thigh, and then release. So pull on the stick, sit into the plie, tap it down, and then release. we do 2 more? Building stamina in our legs. Final one. Keeping the hip open and relaxing off and giving the legs a bit of a shake. We're going to keep hold of our stick and we're going to use it to think about alignment as we move to triangle pose now. So I'm going to turn the toe out fully on this side and then angle in over here. We're going to slide this hand into the curve of our lower back. And as you put your hand closer to your knee, you keep your head on the stick and your tailbone. Now as you start to go sideways into your triangle pose, what does your head want to do? Is it trying to lean forward? Now often when people try and touch their stick with their head, they'll tilt their head back. Try to keep length in the neck so that your chin almost is sort of tucked down a little bit. Jean Stick's giving a stick. Okay, so from here, we're going to keep the stick along the back. We're going to bend into the knee, turn it, so we're now in more of a lunge position. Head, shoulders, tailbone against the stick. As we come down, hold, breathe. Straightening out through the front leg, we're going to switch the hands, turn our feet the other way, and move into our triangle pose on the other side. So can we keep our tailbone there and use the stick to think about what the head position wants to do? Lengthening through the back of our neck. Bending into our knee, turning our toes of the back foot, tucking our tailbone under, finding that lunge position with our hips squared up. Let's release. We're going to turn around, switching the arms. Coming back into a lunge on the other side, and we'll place one elbow up now towards the ceiling. Finding the lunge, holding, breathing. And we place our back knee on the floor and unhook our toes. Bringing the stick down to the same side of the front leg. Either stay with this version and allow your hips to drop and sink through, or we can get hold of our back foot for a more intensive stretch. Choose what feels good for you today. Breathe. Just noticing what your body's saying to you right now. Let's release. We're going to turn around and let's do our lunge on the other side. So we want one hand in the curve of the lower back, the other elbow up towards the ceiling as we drop into our lunge, straightening the back leg, lengthening the back leg away, tucking our tailbone under, holding, breathe. And then from here, bringing our back knee down and unhooking the toes as we bring the stick by the front leg. And if you want to do that more advanced, intensive stretch, can you get hold now of your back foot and bring your heel towards your bottom, squaring the hip bones. Usually that back foot hip will try and sort of wander backwards. Breathe. Okay, and let's release. Can you find some weights? Have another drink. So we're going to do some steady squats to help with our strength in our legs. So we'll think about our posture as we arc the feet just slightly wider than our hips. And we're going to sink down, aligning the knees over the toes, 2, 3, and then release. Just allowing our weights to hang loose, 2, 3, and then release. I'm going to bend through the arm and extend forwards for our next level. And then moving the weights higher up for our more advanced version today. Breathe. Last couple. And final one. Alrighty, if we can shake a leg. Gonna give our quads a stretch, so getting hold of our foot, bringing our knees together, bringing our heel towards our bottom. Now often we'll go into sort of forward lean. Can you be quite upright? So think of lifting your rib cage up, squeezing your bottom from behind, increase the intensity of the stretch. And then if you've got the heel on your bottom, see if you can add a balanced position today. So we're going to keep the heel on the bottom, lean into it, extending our other arm forwards as we hold the balance. And then releasing, and let's give that a go on the other side. Bringing our knees together, heel towards our bottom, squeezing the bottom in, and again lifting the rib cage up, lengthening through the crown of the head, squeezing the bottom in from behind. Moving into that next level if you want to, giving the heel on the bottom, taking the opposite arm forwards. Breathe. Let's release and give our legs a shake, coming down onto the mat again. So if you can join me down on your back. More Pilates mat work. So working our core, sliding our fingertips again into the curve of the lower back and pointing our toes. Slowly bringing our knees up towards our chest, and then as you lower your feet, can you do it keeping an imprint on your hands? Just tap toes down, the knees again towards the chest, and as you lower, can you do it bring that good pressure on your hands? And if you can keep that good pressure, explore moving your feet a bit further away. And particularly just as you get above the ground, often we'll speed up a bit there. That's when where the going tends to get a bit tougher. You can actually slow it down, explore what happens there. It's kind of where you get the training effect. All the time, just moving your feet even further away. Focusing on those gradual progressions. last couple. Reminding ourselves that to actually make those gradual progressions takes a lot of effort, energy, time. Even if we're just in that maintenance phase, that's often a good place versus the not doing it phase. So from here, if you can open your knees and round and back in, circling. And then reversing back in the opposite direction. Move into a glute stretch. So could you park your right leg over your left? Let's have our hands just here at the back of the left leg. Use your hands to pull in, use your elbow to push out. Breathing deeply. Interlacing, if you like, around the front of the shin, just to nudge and stretch a little further. But if you already feel you're stretching enough as you are, then staying with that first version. The next level, if we can park a hand here, one hand on the opposite foot on the top, and then the other hand catching hold of that other foot, and then bringing both of our feet down, feeling for the floor. Feeling that bottom knee pressed down and pushing our top knee away from our body. Pressing the knee out away from us, drawing the chin down and lengthening the back of the neck. That's it. So chin in, push the back of the head, press the shoulders down. So your rib cage sort of lifts a little bit. Closing your eyes, breathing deeply into your belly. So again, breathing deeply into the belly. And let's release and switch over the leg. So if you can bring your left over your right, hands around the back of the thigh. So using your hands to pull the leg in, using your elbow to push the knee out. And noticing what your effort level is right now. How firmly are you pressing? Does it feel like quite a good intensive stretch? Breathing into the stretch. And again, if you want to take it that next stage on, we're going to interlace the fingers at the front of the shin, but keep pushing that knee out. Breathe. You bring your opposite hand onto the top foot if you're going to do the next level too. You can stay with those other versions. And then we bring the feet to the floor, push the bottom knee down, and pressing the top knee away. We hold that position, pressing the shoulders back, dropping the chin down, pushing the back of the head into the ground, tuning into lengthening the neck muscles, closing the eyes and breathing into the belly. As you breathe into your belly, tuning into the state of how you'd like to feel. Perhaps repeating a little mantra, affirmation, a phrase. Describes that feeling that you'd like to feel. And let's release. Unhook our legs and place our hands on top of our belly. With our eyes closed, just continue focusing on that feeling and that little mantra or affirmation. In your mind, I'd like you to create a little image of that feeling, just going with whatever pops up for you in terms of that image. Allow your attention to drift. Using that sound of the water in the background. Take yourself off on an autumnal beachy stroll. Moody weather. Just like that. Still going for the stroll. At this time of year as it gets a bit rainier and a bit darker to use the weather as a bit of an excuse not to go out, but actually, if we're honest, getting out there, just doing it anyway helps us feel better, gives us that bit of daylight that we need, particularly as we go into the winter months and the vitamin D naturally starts to diminish. I'd like you to extend your legs, point your toes, bringing your heels together now as we arch the back and bring the arms up. Having a good old stretch, reaching the fingers. Ooh, a kind of stretchy, yawny feeling. Like you've just woken up from a deep, happy sleep. And we're going to bend our knees and roll over to our side. And then if we come up, we'll take a little stretch for the back of our neck. If you can park your hands just here around the back of your head and tuck your chin in. Breathing deeply. And release. I hope that's made a difference to your morning.